a chance for the Blues. Jetta's got to go over the top. He lost his feet. Thomas puts it into the path of Jetta versus Simpson. Jetta did really, really well. Massive ball from Neville Jetta. Now Frost. Back towards half forward. McCready and Lamb. It spills to Petrarca at ground level. Can look up inside 50. Find a target. Neil Bullen. What a ball from Neville Jetta.
Our guest tonight is a cult hero among Melbourne supporters and probably one of the first picked every week when it comes to team selection. The picture hasn't always been that rosy though. After a promising debut year in 2009, injury and inconsistency put the brakes on his career and he was delisted at the end of 2013, only to be redrafted again and given a lifeline by incoming coach Paul Roos. He hasn't looked back since, elevating his game to become arguably the best small defender in the league, finishing fifth in the MFC Best and Fairest last year. He's a leader on and off the field. He's played 116 games for the Demons. He's also represented Australia. Welcome to the Demonland podcast, Neville Jetta.
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Not a problem, Nev. Thanks for joining us. We know you're a busy man with the season almost upon us, and you've got a young family too, so we appreciate your time. You had your best season yet in 2017. You're fifth in the Best and Fairest, in contention for all Australian honours, and arguably very unlikely to miss out. Have you hit the peak yet, or do you still have areas of your game where you think you can improve? And if so, what are those areas?
I don't think I've sort of hit my peak yet. I think the biggest thing is belief within myself to be able to play sort of week in, week out, and really good footy. Obviously, I've had a real consistent year last year that I was pretty wrapped about, not only from a performance base, but sort of off-field everything just sort of went pretty smoothly. So, but like I said, I still feel I've got a lot to improve, and if I just keep improving, hopefully I can stay around for a bit longer.
You said in an interview recently that you hate to let your teammates down and that you relish the trust that they put in you to get the job done. Can you just expand on that a bit and what sort of drives you to success?
Yep. It's almost being brought up the way in my community, sort of Aboriginal man and Noongar man from Bubba. Everyone sort of relies on everyone to get through, and money wasn't the thing we had the most, and everyone just relied on each other, and when one person couldn't help, then the whole community suffered, and that's sort of the traits that I sort of grew up with. So I've almost a similar sort of being in a footy club is almost similar to being in a community. It's you got your 44 other players, you got your coaches, you got all the staff, and I feel like if I have a bad game or I'll let a small forward like Getty Betts or something like that get a hold of us, then I feel like that comes directly back to me. Obviously, there are a lot of factors that go into a footy game for a person, a forward or someone I'm playing on to be able to kick a goal, but I feel like I haven't done my job as well as I could, and that's sort of why I feel that the most, if I let anyone down, hits me the hardest, because I obviously see the reactions and the feeling that they get whenever something happens that directly sort of correlates to me. So, I'll just go out, and obviously Rosies was a pretty big influence coming back, comes to the footy club back in 2013. So he put a lot of trust and faith in me to be able to play a role to try and negate those small forwards that were doing us at the time. So and I didn't want to let him down, and then also he's carried out to the teammates, and now being in a position I am in now of being a leader within the footy club. There's more responsibility that goes with that, but then also I feel the role model I am towards my community back home, and being in Melbourne as well. Things have actions have sort of consequences, and I was trying to make them more positive.
Yep.
You mentioned Eddie Betts. You have the best defensive record in the league against Eddie, who undoubtedly is the best goal sneak in the competition. Is he your toughest opponent, and what's the secret to keeping him quiet?
Sorry. He's definitely bloody hard to play against. As you see, you sort of give him half a metre and he kicks one over the back of his head. So, he's definitely up there. That's the thing, the concentration level with all those blokes and the sort of time and effort you have to put into them, not only leading up to the game, but during the game. It's enormous, and to be able to get a result sort of that I have on him, it's something that I sort of take for granted because he can turn that around pretty quickly in one game, or one quarter really. You definitely have your wits about you whenever you play on him. But yeah, he's been obviously it was sort of my sort of breakout game was on him. Really put it on me to really take my opportunity that I had back in 2014. And I definitely feel like I did that day. And you sort of get the wood over some players that you play well on, and they remember that, and you remember it. Every time now before we play Adelaide, Jeffy Garlett's still pretty close mates with him, and I'll get Jeffy to send me a text the week leading up to this to make sure that I'm going to be playing on him again.
Psych him out a little bit.
But no, he's definitely one of the hardest players I've played on in that position. Obviously, you got Chad Wingard and lots of other small forwards now in Richmond up and coming, playing some real good small forwards. Just trying to improve my teammates around me to make my job a lot easier. And having Hibbo and Jake Oliver and Hunty and these sort of blokes and Wagner to be able to play that role and be able to excel in it is something I'm taking great pride in, because these blokes are going to be around a bit longer than what I am, long after I'm gone. So looking forward to seeing them improve their game this year, and obviously I've done a bit of work with them, sort of one-on-one stuff at training, and hopefully you might have seen a bit with Wagner last week down in North. He definitely put his craft on show against some bigger boys. So I'm just looking forward to seeing them go about their business this year and help me out a bit.
Competition for spots, yep.
Yeah.
We won't rake over the highs and lows of last season, but one particular passage of play typified your year, and that was your acrobatic, upside-down, double save and spoil in the final minute against Carlton, which saved a certain goal and obviously won us the game. We heard the audio of that before. Take us through it, because you were one out against two Blues, and as the ball came sort of down the ground, you must have been thinking, I'm in trouble here.
It's sort of it's a reaction sort of play. You do it without thinking, but at the time I seen the ball come in, I just wanted to mark it, and that's why I sort of flew. I knew if I marked it, we would have had control of the ball, and I would have just bombed it back down the line. Obviously, didn't have no marker and had to get up real quickly. I knew Frosty was sort of the closest guy to me, and I actually saw Dale Thomas was on the ground with me, and we both got up at the same time. But Daisy kept his feet after watching the vision, and Simpson sort of flew past me pretty quick, so I just got up and tried to chase him, sort of cover him a bit, and I was just happy, or lucky enough that Thomas just handballed to us. If he had bombed it, would have been right deep in their 50, and I think they had two other forwards that are left early from the contest down the line. It's something that I sort of look back about. How did I do that myself?
It's one of the plays of the year, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
As we said in the intro, you've become a bit of a cult hero among the supporters because of the way you've turned your career around and your no-nonsense approach to the game. But recently you won on Twitter a popularity contest that's conducted each year. You beat Clayton Oliver by a very comfortable margin in this grand final.
Yep.
Are you aware of your popularity and the admiration of the fans? Is that something you're aware of?
Yeah, probably the admiration part of it, but obviously the popularity is probably obviously there's some big players that are playing for our club at the moment, like 𝗟𝗏𝘀𝘁𝗃 and obviously Clary when they're there. That's Strauss last year, and maybe Brownlow this year. But
I like that.
There's some other unbelievable players running around. I'm pretty lucky to get to play with. So yeah, I'll just sort of get in line really for those blokes. But yeah, it's great to feel the support from the supporters and the passion that they bring each week, whether we win or lose.
Many on Demonland wanted you in the leadership group when we were talking about it before it was announced. Is that something that you aspire to, or do you think that you're really a leader already with your actions on and off the field?
Sorry. Go again.
You got the little ones in the background?
Yeah, she's stalling on the bed at the moment.
I know the feeling.
I just said that many on the forum that we're on, Demonland, wanted you in the leadership group. Is that something that you aspire to, or are you already a leader anyway with your actions on and off the field?
Yeah, I'll like to be. Would have loved to be in the leadership group this year, but we've got some pretty good leaders already in there, and yeah, I feel like I'll lead, and the boys know that I'll lead on field and say what I need to say if I need to say something at training, and they I feel like I've got the respect from the playing group to be able to do that, and yeah, obviously everyone wants to inspire to be a leader within the footy club. Like I said, I'm not happy sitting back, but I'm one that when things need to be done, I feel like I can get up and say what I need to say or do what I need to do. So, and I feel like I'm the oldest. I think I'm the oldest guy. And me and Hibbo maybe in the back line this year. So apart from Louis and Bernie, that are really genuine sort of defenders. So yeah, really take a leadership role within that sort of backline group, and just looking forward to try and help my teammates around me within the backline group, but then also give the leadership within the footy club to the younger boys that are coming through, but then also voice my opinions when I need to. But yeah, like I said, we've got some pretty good leaders in the leadership group already that the players have voted for, and it's always been sort of player votes to get in the leadership group, and obviously the players have chosen. But like I said, I'm going to lead regardless and do what I need to do, because I know the team benefits from me being that leader that they need.
Speaking of the defence, Michael Hibberd quickly became a mainstay of the backline last year, and he had a stellar season. Jake Lever joins the ranks this year. Tell us a bit about Jake and what he brings to the table. By all reports, he's got a very mature head on his shoulders for someone so young.
Yeah, he's like you said, exactly what you said pretty much. He's very mature for his age, and definitely brought a different perspective. Obviously, he comes from the Crows over to us, and definitely challenged us as a group on the field and off the field. And he's just been great to be around the footy club. But then, sort of on field, he's becoming a very, very good player. He's someone who's one of the best intercept players in the game. So to be able to sort of compliment him and along with Hibbo and Hunty and these sorts of blokes, I think we've got a well-rounded, sort of flexible sort of backline this year. And I'm really looking forward to playing with those sorts of blokes. And like I said, we're just going to try and continue to find and work with him on his weaknesses and his strengths, and really explore his strengths on game day. And that goes for sort of everyone in the backline. Just looking forward to helping them play their best footy.
Yep. Nev, we thank you very much for your time. Have you got just time for a couple more? and then we'll
all good, mate.
let you go.
Yep.
You've been the elder statesman among the Indigenous boys on the list for a while now. You've taken them under your wing and been a bit of a mentor. Matty Whelan's now at the club in a sort of an Indigenous liaison role, I guess you could call it. How's it been having his experience on hand, and has it changed sort of your role at all? Or
like I said, I've been sort of the main sort of guy or go-to guy for all things when it sort of comes to, like, obviously Indigenous Jump, Indigenous Round, and Reconciliation Week, NAIDOC Week, and Sorry Day, stuff like that boys probably don't think about as much, and just sort of get to sort of just rock up and be footy players and just worry about footy. It's a role that I sort of took up once Flash sort of left and Wheel sort of left the footy club, and once we sort of got our on-field stuff sort of sorted, I was able to ask the club to be able to implement obviously a footy jumper for Indigenous Round and do a bit more stuff up in Alice that we were going to, but also recognise NAIDOC Week and Reconciliation Week and that sort of stuff. And then also cultural awareness sessions within the footy club for players and staff. And now sort of the pinnacle has sort of been the rap. So, but having Wheels on board definitely helped my footy. And I sort of feel last year was no coincidence with how my form and why sort of it's been my best year. He's one that's taken a lot of load off me. And that's why I sort of pushed Peter Jackson and the guys at the footy club to be able to get someone into the footy club like Matthew Whelan, because we're dealing, I was dealing myself and then also trying to work with Jeffy to work together to try and get through emails and sort out jumper designs and do cultural awareness sessions for the players and the stuff that we didn't need to do as players. You know, we're being footy players, and that's stressful enough as it is, and then also on top of that, we're trying to do the best thing to cultural educate our teammates and our staff at the footy club, but then also the AFL and the community within the AFL and the supporters. So it definitely takes its toll. So to be able to have someone take control of all of that, definitely freed me up mentally to be able to just go and enjoy football. I can't thank the club enough for getting Wheels on board, and he's been amazing this year. Definitely got the rap sorted for us, and then also bringing new ideas from his sort of work experience post-football. He's one that we see every day, we talk every day, we go for sort of a coffee every day. So he's one that I've looked up to since I walked to the footy club, and I still do, and he's one that I really like, almost like a sounding board. So with all things to do football club and also outside as well. So like I said, there's no coincidence with my form and Jeffy's form as well, and young Dion's coming along, and Jay's working real hard. So he's one that doesn't get a lot of the praise, but he's done an amazing job with us to be able to let us play football.
That's great to hear. On the cusp of this new season, what are the expectations coming into it? We missed the finals by a whisker last year. Is it a case of finals or bust in 2018, or has Simon Goodwin and the other set other targets in terms of the team's development? Because we're still a relatively young list.
Sorry. The other one's playing up now.
Basically, just...
I know they're up and down.
Yeah, not a problem. So what are the expectations coming into this year? Is it finals or bust, or is there something else, other targets?
I would like to say finals, but obviously that's sort of the end product. I think at the moment we're just trying to really build that winning culture, and playing JLT has been a good start. And obviously AFL can JLT, and we sort of got like a final rehearsal tomorrow night, so we're just getting everyone to compete for spots, and that'll drive the performance on field, I think. So we probably didn't have as much depth over the last few years, but I think at the moment we're probably the best we've been in that area. I think anyone can come in and play anyone's role. Just really looking forward to seeing blokes playing consistent football right across the field. And I think obviously it's been spoken about a lot of sort of Petrarca these sort of blokes stepping up their game and really becoming consistent footballers. And like I said, last year's a lot of different sort of factors didn't go away. Obviously, injuries, suspension didn't help for some of those games early in the year that we actually should have won, and you guys probably knew that as well. But just really playing consistent football week in, week out, and having blokes compete for spots every week is something that I want to see within Footy Club. And I know that with the depth that we have now right across the board, just looking forward to seeing that. And obviously I'm a part of that as well, so looking forward to not only fighting for my spot, but playing consistent football, because I know that blokes like Joey Smith and Wagner and Hunty are playing really good football and doing everything they can to be in the team.
Well,
one final. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Andy.
No, you go ahead, Jace.
I was just going to say one final one from us, Nev. What was Rosies' message to you at the end of 2013? What did he say or do that helped you to turn it around, basically? Did that drive come from an internal motivation to sort of prove your doubters wrong?
It's probably just some of the things he sort of said was the football club's going to be a lot different. Obviously, I was Delicious at the time, and the club spoke to me about putting me back on the books halfway through that off season, and at the time I obviously had 𝗟𝗶𝘀𝘁𝗃. She would have been 2, so my mind was sort of looking after her and my wife Samantha, and my sort of preferred option was to go back home and play waffle football and just sort of have a sort of a longer term sort of life, if that makes sense, and just really look after them. So that was sort of my thinking at the time. But obviously Rudy said, no, it's obviously going to be a different football club, and we got some new coaches, and we really want you to stay. I've seen sort of the last few games, the last sort of 5 or 6 weeks of the season, and I think we can really find a role for you here, and sort of gave me that belief and sort of passion again that it's going to be okay. Come back to the footy club and play football. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's happened before that with different coaches and our performances, and just a lot of stuff to deal with on top of just playing football. And probably to sort of tell you the truth, my mind was sort of cooked from football at that time, being 23, and I was like, surely football's supposed to be a bit more enjoyable than this. And it sort of cooked me a bit after injuries and that sort of stuff, and own form. So it was just that sort of reassurance and confidence that he gave me to come back in and to tell me that I can still play some real good football for the football club. Sort of changed my mind, but then I also chatting with my wife at the time. She just said, give it another go, give it one more year and see how you go. If obviously it doesn't work out, then that's fine. We can still move to WA and do what you want to do over there, and we can sort of set the kids up in school and that sort of stuff. So, I just didn't want to feel like I was being too selfish, or selfish, full stop, and just worrying about myself. Obviously, sort of my actions are going to have a flow-on effect for them, and I didn't want to sort of delay them another year where we could have been set up. But Rosies obviously had that influence, and then Goody coming on board really gave him the confidence to really take my game to another level, and he's still doing that to this day, continues to challenge me and all the rest of the coaches to not only just be happy with where I'm at, but continue to improve every day, and not only sort of is said to me, but the whole playing group, and I think that's probably why you'll see us continue to improve this year again. So, but obviously that's a pass, and very happy to be able to say that I've sort of pushed through that sort of period, and playing some pretty good football now, and just looking forward to continue to sort of give to the footy club and my teammates and my family, and hopefully I'm here for a lot longer.
We hope you do too. we want to really thank you for joining us on the Demonland podcast tonight. We really do appreciate it, and we wish you all the best for this coming season and future seasons, and hopefully we see some of that ultimate success.
Definitely. Thank you guys for bringing me on, and take it easy if we have some bad losses here.
All right, mate. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much, and good luck tomorrow night.
All right, thanks, mate.
Cheers.
See you guys.